Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
If a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Ah, Mom, this boy is a handful.
As if you were any different.
Then what about a memory? And I'll say a lifetime of stories. Wash away the dirt and not the memories with Boom Bubble Plus washing powder.
Let the memories fade away.
Boom, and the dirt is gone. Introducing the Smart Kicker from iConnect, the most affordable smartphone on the market. With a follow focus capable 2-megapixel camera, you can't miss out on any of the action. Over 400 hours of standby battery time and 32 gig external memory. That's more than enough space for all your series, music, pics, apps and games. Get yours today from iConnect for a limited offer of only 499 kwacha, including 300 MB iSpot internet from iConnect. The Smart Kicker, available at iConnect. iConnect, make it happen.
The big day, everybody, and tonight we'll witness history in the making, y'all. Maki 2 all the way from Kokopala versus Slapdism and Nizzle. The moment you've all been waiting for. Maki 2 versus Slapdism.
Here's what you all been missing. Monster flows, fire flows, Mungamu kitchen. Flavor ikupa sokangiwa panga decision. Bigger than us, me and you and the mission.
Dow Biggie International, you mangasi, yeah, but they have to know. Nobody on the corner got swagger like us, but yeah, the one is bigger than us.
This moment is bigger than us.
Yeah, Tikurilako is bigger than us.
Both of us, me and you, is bigger than us. Bigger than us.
Monster Pops are not just big, they're monster big. Try out our Wacky Fusion, Magic Forest, Tongue Painter, and Black Forest. Monster Pops, the biggest pop in town.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955 0966 or 977 844 141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness.
What's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Jungle.
Hello and a warm welcome to Prime Television's main news. We take a look at stories making headlines. A government committed to reducing infant maternal mortality rate. Choma Mayor cautions Kambwili against using tribal remarks, and Grand Coalition demands for referendum. Those are the headlines. Join me shortly with the details. Thank you so much for joining us for our main news bulletin. And now with the details, my name is Martha Namanje. The government says it has taken a lead in ensuring the reduction of infant maternal mortality rate. Community Development, Mother and Child Health Permanent Secretary Dr. Elwin Chomba says over $2 million has been allocated for the capacity building and upgrading of the health system in the country. Dr. Chomba says midwives play a vital role in the country and there is need to ensure that more midwives are trained in order to safeguard the lives of mothers and children. And UNFPA country representative Dr. Mary Otieno says over 4.2 million deaths in Southern Africa are that of adolescent mothers. The two were speaking during Midwives for All event celebrations in Lusaka.
Has taken the lead of supporting implementation of the roadmap to accelerate, and not the word accelerate, because we do need to accelerate and not to walk. To accelerate the reduction of maternal, newborn and child mortality rates, as you'd see in the statistics, which also takes into account the key linkages for continuum of care services.
Ladies and gentlemen, UNFPA welcomes and supports this campaign and believes that it will not only go a long way towards raising the profile of midwives in reducing maternal mortality, but will also contribute towards reducing teenage pregnancy, supporting the current dialogue on ending child marriage, and identifying platforms for engagement of midwives with adolescents. It is my fervent hope that we take the discussions and recommendations made here today seriously and find strategies to address the issues that will give young people confidence to interact with and to seek the professional counsel and care that midwives are able to provide.
Residents of Garden House area have appealed to CK Mabo to facilitate for issuance of title deeds. The residents claim that when CK Mabo was advertising for the plots, it assured them of title deeds upon purchase of plots, but up to now nothing has been done. The residents further claim that the company has not provided them with roads as promised about 8 years ago. But CK Mabo Legal Director Kenson Kangaso, while on a live Prime TV program, explained that the delay in giving out loans was as a result of the wrangles that have rocked the area. Mr. Kangaso also disclosed that failure by most settlers to settle their dues has also resulted in the delay to give out title deeds.
The issue I want to refer to is the issue of roads. When before we bought the plots, CK Mabo was advertising, when you buy plots from us, we'll give you roads, we'll give you electricity, we'll give you water. 7 or 8 days down the line, no water, no roads. Now when we query them, they say it is not their responsibility to provide roads. How? CK Mabo has no claim over that land. The only thing that they can do to help us is to get the title deeds. Because we bought that land from CK Mabo. But CK Mabo has grown cold. Whenever we talk about title deeds, they make the process look so difficult.
A research fellow from the Institute of Economics and Research at the University of Zambia has predicted economic hardship for the country. Dr. Jolwe Beani says Zambia, as a growing economy, has not done enough to tackle issues of high cost of living and employment and created an enabling business environment, among other factors vital to the country's economic growth. He has since described Zambia's economic standing in the first quarter of 2015 as disappointing.
The year 2014 may have seen Zambia score some economic successes through the creation of jobs in the road sector, but these have not been enough to cater a growing demand for jobs. The first quarter of 2015 economic standing of the country has since been described as disappointing. This follows poor performance of Zambia's economic indicators such as soaring unemployment and high inflation rates, among others. In view of this, Cholwe Beani, Research Fellow in Economics, has predicted harder times in the second quarter of 2015. According to Dr. Beani, poor economic performance in the first quarter will have spillover effects in the second quarter.
It won't happen now because we're still consuming the fuel that was imported when the currency was stronger. But by the second quarter, unless something happens, we should see an increase in the fuel. That will have spiral effect on many other economic sectors, such as transport, communications, even the cost of food that has to be moved. You will see that go up. It will become very difficult to negotiate with the millers for a lower price of maize or mealie meal in that regard, because their transport costs will also go up. Their operational costs will thereby also go up. So you're going to see an appreciable increase in inflation, which is already taking place anywhere as we speak. But you should see a much higher inflationary pressure towards the beginning of the second quarter as we exhaust the import cover for fuel.
Dr. Beani believes to avoid further economic mishaps, there is need for proper economic policies that can address high cost in production in the business environment. He feels electricity costs should also be reduced to stimulate economic activities in the country. Dr. Beani has also spoken against load shedding that has diverse effects on production.
We must find the means to lower the cost of electricity. We must find the means to lower the cost of fuel. We must find the means to deal with the lowered copper prices and diversify the economy to take advantage of other goods and services that we can engage in the production of. Right? We need to expand our export sector in non-traditional exports. See, those are key elements.
Zambia is a growing economy, but following a poor economic performance in the first quarter, many questions arise as whether Zambia will sustain its growth. Martha Namanje, Prime TV News, Lusaka.
Choma Mayor Professor Mwanga has castigated Information and Broadcasting Minister Chishimba Kambwili for labeling the people of Southern Province as tribal. Speaking in a telephone interview with Prime TV News from Choma, Mr. Mwanga says it is unfortunate that a senior government official who is expected to unite the country is the one using tribal statements. Mr. Mwanga tells Prime TV that it is very sad that Mr. Kambwili could go to such lengths of calling the people of Southern Province as being tribal when he himself knows that that is not true. He has advised Mr. Kambwili to be civil in his speech as a leader as opposed to issuing statements which could lead into chaos in the country. It is alleged that Mr. Kambwili recently gave an interview to privately owned Radio Phoenix where he referred to the people of Southern Province as being tribal, resulting from the manner in which they voted. United National Independence Party UNIP has presented several gifts to first Republican President Dr. Kenneth Kaunda on his 91st birthday. UNIP Vice President Jekwa Anamela says the gifts are in recognition of Dr. Kaunda's long life and the contribution of peace and stability he made to the country. Mr. Anamela says Zambia is a peaceful country today because of the efforts Dr. Kaunda made towards promoting peace. He adds that Dr. Kaunda's heart of peace, selflessness and love has helped build Zambia's unity. Mr. Anamela stressed that children have been inspired by the leadership of Dr. Kaunda, hence the need to recognize him in every way. He was speaking when UNIP presented birthday celebration gifts to the first Republican President, Dr. Kaunda, at his residence. Meanwhile, in receiving the gifts, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda has urged UPND leaders, UNIP leaders to be strong and work for the people of Zambia. Dr. Kaunda says it is important that people are looked after because they are part and parcel of Zambia. He adds that UNIP needs to be strong in every struggle to ensure that people are given better leadership. He has urged people to embrace each other and show one another love for peace and stability to continue.
Mr. President, I want to ask you, I'm asking the Vice President, how strong are you now? How strong are you, Mr. Speaker? How strong are you in this struggle?
You're watching Prime Television's main news. Join me after the break with other interesting stories.
It starts with a single seed. Patience. Dedication. Attention to detail.
I'ma sip it up, everybody sipping, I'ma sip my hell.
It's here, I'ma sip my hell. Eat well, drink well, feel good.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
What's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Fun. Style. Freshness. Great taste. It's here. It's fun. It looks cool. And it tastes great. Are you ready?
Shake, 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 shake and sip.
Introducing Shake and Sip, the new irresistibly smooth fruity milk.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
We now continue with the Prime Television's main news. The Ministry of Justice says a phased approach to the enactment of the Constitution is cheap and that government will ensure the Constitution is released to the people. Justice Minister Ngosa Simbiakola says only a few clauses will be tabled in Parliament and not the whole document. He says holding a referendum is costly as it will have to involve money and will take time before a consensus can be reached. Dr. Simbiakola has pointed out that there are provisions in the draft that do not require a referendum and they are the ones that will be tabled in Parliament. He says only certain amendments will have to be done through a referendum, such as the Bill of Rights.
Because a referendum is very costly and there are a lot of competing needs. I think that phased approach is more prudent because of the financial constraints and time constraints. So we'll be checking a few amendments to the House this sitting.
Yes,
because you see, there are those provisions in the draft which don't require a referendum. I think those can be dealt with by the National Assembly. And then the Bill of Rights requires a referendum. That one we have no choice but to hold a referendum. But we think that it would be fiscally prudent to hold that kind of referendum at the same time as the general election.
But Grand Coalition spokesperson McDonough Chipenzi says government cannot say it is expensive to hold a referendum as it promised to hold one in order for the Constitution to be released. He has asked Justice Minister Dr. Simbiakola not to make excuses on behalf of government, saying government has the money and resources required to hold a referendum.
Citizens are aware of their dishonest characterism and will not allow that to continue. Let us now, move our governance system up there, where honesty, accountability, and transparency will be the order of the day. So what Honorable Simbiakola is saying is just lying behind the, lying in a, through a translucent curtain. So he just come out. Let them come out in the open. If they have failed to give us a constitution, let them tell us that they have failed. That's all. That's the only thing. We'll believe them that they have failed. then we know what to do. Simple.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then also,
When I was arrested by the police, one of their concerns were that I accused them that they are corrupt. But the reports have accused them. I hope they will arrest the report also.
A cotton grower from Chipata in Eastern Province has called for policy implementation that will help cotton growers in the country benefit from growing cotton. Michael Banda notes that as equal players in the growth of the agriculture sector, cotton growers have been neglected. He says it is sad that farmers that are producing other crops, especially maize, are given high priority as part of contributors to the country's agriculture sector. He has since appealed for the revision of policies in the agriculture sector that will help benefit all farmers and encourage them to grow cotton.
Said that in order to attain increased production potential in cotton, scientists researched and came up with those two genes. But as we do approve as farmers from what we have seen, my appeal to the media would be to communicate our message to the legislators. Perhaps it is a mismatch that we have only mentioned that we traveled with the technocrats as farmers, but we did not include the legislatures. So we feel the legislatures should come on board, and because they are in the designing of policy, so that we can put this, and we are talking about 19 years of this technology having existed, that Zambia has not shown any move other than the launching to say we should carry on trials within the country.
And a crop scientist from the International Service for the Acquisition of Agri-Biotech, Chimunya Bebe, says there is need to promote biotech crops such as cotton. Mr. Bebe says the promotion of biotech crops needs sensitization among farmers as it has the benefits that will withstand weather challenges. He says there is need for a holistic approach to agriculture development to ensure effective implementation and timely biotechnologies in the country. He has further indicated the need for capacity building for policymakers and scientists regulating issues of biosafety and the food safety. Mr. Bebe was speaking during the launch of the Global Status Report on the commercialization of biotech crops for the 2014 in Lusaka.
Presented in this report is based on authenticated data from multiple international sources. Data verification is done by getting it from more than one data source. It is also important to note that the report that I'm about to present reaches millions of people in more than 70 countries globally. Now Zambia is included in this network. The credibility of the ISA Global Status GM Crop report is demonstrated by the various publications that quote the document. The issue of genetically modified crops is one laced with a lot of controversy. The controversy arises from many sources. For some agricultural scientists such as myself, biotechnology is simply one of the tools that science has availed to humanity to help in meeting the challenges of providing food, feed and fiber to an ever-growing population residing on an ever-diminishing available land resource.
The Private Sector Development Association has expressed concern over the performance of the 2014-2015 national budget. Association Chairperson Yusuf Dodia says the performance of the budget is not as was expected by many Zambians and will have a negative impact on the country's economy. Mr. Dodia explained that the continuous by-elections that the country has been having has had tremendous contributed negatively to the underperformance of the national budget. He has further noted that to avoid more stress on the budget, government should seriously consider revising it.
So overall, I expect that although we are just going into the second quarter of 2015, we can already see challenges with the Zambian 2015 national budget. As we come towards the end of the year, we are likely to experience more challenges. So I don't expect the 2015 budget to be a budget that we can say would have performed very well. I do believe that the pressures that are going to be put on our economy between now and the end of the year are likely to make the situation even more difficult. Totally. I think we've had some big changes in the expectations as far as the budget is concerned, and it is necessary for government to revise the budget and to really look at what the current status is and what is possible. And it seems to me that we are looking at trimming the 2015 budget to be in line with the expected revenues for 2015. So I think it's absolutely necessary that we do that.
The International Institute for Democracy and Conflict Resolution has called on Nigerian advocates in Zambia to stop interfering in the way government is handling the case of former President Rupia Banda. Institute President Tresford Chomba says those advocating for the expedience of former President Rupia Banda's oil deal case must stop because the case is still in court. Mr. Chomba says the Nigerian advocates should not interfere in the country's internal matters. He says Zambian problems are supposed to be dealt by Zambians. Mr. Chomba was speaking to Prime TV News in an interview in Lusaka.
First of all, we wish to underscore the point that Zambia is a sovereign nation. And as such, we've got some civil society organizations that are duly and authentically registered here in Zambia, capable of resolving or attending to the issues that pertain to our country. The recent comments by one director of the so-called Nigerian network of the civil society organization against corruption is something that we are condemning in the strongest sense. In any sense, what our brothers are supposed to do in Nigeria, Nigeria is not an exception when it comes to corruption. We've been reading this in the news. And we've also followed the trends that are happening in Nigeria. Nigeria is one of the most corrupt countries in this world. So our brothers, the initiative that they should take is to come up with a solution of, as the Bible says, to remove the plank in the eye of Nigeria before they go to other countries like Zambia.
United National Independence Party UNIP President Tilienji Kaunda has charged that there is lack of political will in the fight against corruption in the country. Mr. Kaunda has alleged that the Anti-Corruption Commission SCC is not executing its duties, adding that the fight against the vice cannot be won unless all stakeholders are committed. He says there is need for political will from the party in government if the fight is to be won. Mr. Kaunda says it is high time politicians started honoring their promises to the people of Zambia. He said this in an interview with Prime TV News in Lusaka.
All out. And I think that when it comes to the issue of corruption, I think the mindset in the country needs to change. And we need to understand that when you take something that is not yours, then you're removing something from the fellow citizens. And I think that we as youth would like to see a corruption-free society. And obviously we would urge the government to take matters of corruption seriously. And if they take steps in the right direction, we shall support them. If they do not, then we shall raise this issue. Right now the PF is in charge. We're not saying that UNIP is a party of angels, but they're the ones in charge now. So our prayers are with them, that God grants them the wisdom and the strength to take strong measures against this issue of corruption, which for some years now has been dragging, has been holding on to the development of our nation.
Well, stay tuned to Prime Television main news as we bring you international news just after the break.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Mom, can I help you to cook?
No. Remember what I always tell you? Wash your hands.
Okay.
Wow.
Dad, this is a germ-free zone. Go wash your hands.
Good personal hygiene is important at all times. That's why medical experts recommend Romeo Plus medicated soap. It eradicates over 97% of harmful germs. Healthy families use Romeo Plus medicated soap. Romeo Plus medicated soap. Love, care, protect.
Shake, 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 shake and sip.
Delicious and healthy for you and your family. Nutrition and energy. Your food is tasty, yeah.
Yo nzuna yo wama yo telela mushi ilina ma flavor yo siyana yo nsemi ya bwino anso ibasa mpamvu kosa tayanda wiyesa shake and see yo kumwana banjana anzako unsipasako ambuye na makolo ako ilimbisa tu ikondwesa ana kosa tayanda wiyesa shake and see.
Shake and sip when fresh meets fruity.
And now in international news, Nigerian troops rescued nearly 300 girls and women during an offensive against Boko Haram fighters in the northeastern Sambisa forest, the military said. The army announced the rescue on Twitter on Tuesday and said it was screening and interviewing the abducted girls and women. Nearly 300 schoolgirls were seized from the northeastern town of Chibok by the armed group Boko Haram in April 2014. The fighters took the schoolgirls in trucks into Sambisa forest. Dozens escaped, but 219 remained missing. And finally, in the news, aid has begun to reach remote regions near the epicenter of Saturday's devastating earthquake in Nepal. The 7.8 quake has claimed more than 5,000 lives. Many survivors remain in desperate need of food and water. The government is providing free transport for residents hoping to travel to their hometowns. School buses have been sent to supply overstretched services. And now, as we end our main news bulletin, we take a look at stories that made headlines once again. The government committed to reducing infant maternal mortality rates. Choma Mayor cautions Kambwili against using tribal remarks. And Grand Coalition demands for referendum. That's all we had on our main news bulletin. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Martha Namanje, and on behalf of the entire news production team, have a pleasant viewing.
Works.
Ah, Mom, this boy is a handful.
As if you were any different.
Then what about a memory?
I had to do the laundry all over again.
And I'll say a lifetime of stories. Wash away the dirt and not the memories with Boom Bubble Plus washing powder.
Let the memories fade away.
Boom, and the dirt is gone.
It's the big day, everybody, and tonight we'll witness history in the making, y'all. Maki 2 all the way from Kukopala versus Slapdizzle my nizzle.
Maki 2 versus
Here's what you all been missing. Monster flows, fire flows, Mungamo kitchen. Flavor ikupa so can you upon a decision? Bigger than us, me and you and the mission.
Down Biggie Man International, you man got the ever they have to know. Nobody on the corner got swagger like us, but the everyone is bigger than us.
This moment is bigger than us.
Iyatikulilako is bigger than us.
Both of us, me and you, is bigger than us. Bigger than us.
Monster Pops are not just big, they're monster big. Try out our Wacky Fusion, Magic Forest, Tongue Painter, and Black Forest. Monster Pops, the biggest pop in town.
You see, I have never fought with a lion. I have never hunted through the forest in pursuit of food, but I do have the fighting spirit. Because for decades, my people fought for freedom, and in 1964, we won. I love to do the Fwemba, the Kalela, the Kwasa Kwasa. I wear Chitenge, so does my girlfriend. I eat crisps, not crisps. I love Nsima, Kapenta, Chihuahua, Delele. I'm Josh, and I'm proud to be Zambian.
iConnect, celebrating 50 years of Zambia's independence. Hashtag #OnlyFazed. iConnect, make it happen.
It starts with a single seed. Patience. Dedication. Attention to detail.
I'ma sip it up. Everybody sipping, I'ma sip it.
It's here. I'ma sip my hell. Eat well, drink well, feel good.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch. Fun. Style.
Freshness. Great taste. It's here. It's fun. It looks cool. And it tastes great. Are you ready?
Shake, 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 shake and sip.
Introducing Shake and Sip, the new irresistibly smooth fruity milk.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in our newsrooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.